Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. Today I'm looking at sort of mental healthy kinds of things, possible crisis, possible disorder. I'm not diagnosing, I'm not anything, I'm just using tarot to have a little dig around. Reason being, the Harper's Bazaar, I said bizarre, I meant to say bazaar. The Harper's Bazaar cover appeared with the feature article on Meghan Markle at precisely the same moment the Prince and Princess of Wales arrived at the Royal Variety Show yesterday. Not a surprise. We knew the Harper's Bazaar cover was coming, and we also expected that it would drop at a strategic moment to try and overshadow something that senior royals were doing, particularly the Prince and Princess of Wales, of course. The interesting thing about the photo shoot was how many people found it quite disturbing. I read around and I see people talking about Meghan looking really cold, looking dead inside. These are comments I'm getting: disturbing, cold, no it factor, no inner glow. People just really disturbed. That's the vibe. This is obviously coming from people who aren't fans of her at the best of times, but just commenting on the vibe that was coming off her in these photos. And so I'm curious about this. And when I went and looked at them, I'm not the most observant person in the world visually like that. I read energy. So I was interested in what people were saying, how they responded to it. Went and had a look. And one of the things that I noticed was what is sometimes called sanpaku eyes. Sanpaku, sorry, my Japanese is non-existent. Sanpaku eyes in a couple of the photos. And this is a Japanese term for when the whites of the eyes show not just on the sides of the eyes, but above or below. The classic example is Charles Manson. Very famous photo of him, I think it was in Life magazine, where the whites are showing above his eyes. That's a very famous example. And some people have it when it's showing below their eyes. And Meghan, in a couple of these pictures, the whites of her eyes were showing below her eyes. And in Japanese lore, the sanpaku term, when the whites are showing below the eyes, they say it indicates psychological turmoil. And they say, again, I'm quoting from an article I read on this phenomenon, turmoil due to drug abuse or overindulgence. People who have this particular feature might view the outside world as a danger. And they give us examples: Princess Diana and Marilyn Monroe. And then the above the eye thing, the Charles Manson example, Japanese lore, again, someone who's belligerent, even violent. So it's quite a disturbing look. People have commented about this before with Meghan. And I'm not body shaming, I'm not anything. It's an interesting aspect. There is something in these photos that is disturbing. The closest I can come is this sanpaku kind of a term. And so I'm going to have a little read on this. I'm using the Soulless Tarot. I have to remind you, it is tarot. It's for fun and entertainment. It is all my opinion. It is all speculation. I just read energy here. And of course, there is a disclaimer in the box below. I'm going to do a little Celtic cross, a mini Celtic cross. I'm going to leave out a couple of cards in the Celtic cross. Just going to ask what's going on with her, because she did used to have a glow, a sparkle. She's had a lot of work done, let's say allegedly, which has changed her face. Some people say, look, she looked particularly masculine. She was going for that hard kind of look, makeup-free look, a severe look. But it's more than that. Something's gone. Some inner shine has gone from her. What is going on? Is she heading for some kind of crisis? That's my theme today, really. Is Meghan heading for some kind of crisis? So Celtic cross coming up. I think we're ready to go. Yes, we are. Set my disclaimer, not diagnosing, not anything, just reading energy, just wondering why people are finding this particular photo shoot so disturbing. What is going on with Meghan internally, deep inside her psyche? That's what we want to know today. Reduced Celtic cross, as you can see here, and underlying energy. We've got the moon. The moon is very telling as our underlying energy because it is the card of mental disturbance, of issues, of the shadow, projection, disturbance deep down in the psyche. What is going on? Some confusion, some fear, some anxiety, some disorder. It's all there in that moon energy. Very, very, very interesting that should show up as the underlying energy. I've often wondered what's going to happen to Meghan when it all goes wrong, and this year it has all kind of gone wrong. She's had the most opportunities. I'm going to look at that in the next reading. As I say, it's a bit of a crisis moment that I'm looking at today. There it is. Moon as our underlying energy tells everything for me energetically. What's going on with her? What's really happening? We've got the Six of Pentacles, and it's in reverse, and it's an interesting card because it's a card of depletion. The Six of Pentacles when it is in reverse. Upright, it's sharing, it's reciprocity, it's equality, give and take. In reverse, it has a sense of being emptied out. Usually the Six of Pentacles in reverse means someone is taking more than they are giving. We could say that possibly about Meghan and the way she's lived her life, that she really wants stuff and she really takes out of situations. She maybe takes out of situations more than she puts into situations, whether it's relationships or whatever. She would dispute that, of course, and her fans would dispute that and say she's such a kind, generous friend and person and all the rest of it. If she's not taking more than she's giving, then she herself at some level is being depleted energetically. Pentacles are energy, physical energy, as well as material stuff. To the body, something's depleting her. There have been a lot of blind items and gossip sites like Crazy Days and Nights about some rather serious drinking going on. I haven't looked at that very recently. I've looked at it in the past, but the drinking apparently is extra at the moment, and people are saying that she has that kind of dried out, dehydrated look that might indicate that there's a bit of a drinking problem there. I don't know. That is speculation, and it's all, of course, allegedly. What's her particular problem? My problem is keeping the cards on the tarot table. What's her particular problem? We've got the Lovers. It's the relationship. Not happy in that relationship, not at all. For all the kissy that was going on in the trailer for the holiday special. I nearly said Christmas special, not allowed to. The holiday special. All of that pretense and display and all of that, there's nothing there. And it's worrying her, eating away at her, you could even say. Because if he does a runner, if he runs back to par, what next for her? What is going to become of her? Did a reading very recently on that and how she seems to be in a bit of a panic. She seems to be trying to love bomb him, reel him back in, make damn sure that if he does run back to the royals, he takes her along in his suitcase. But that's the big problem. And it's also just choices, the Lovers. She's got big decisions to make, possibly, as everything falls around her. What next? What's she going to do next? So she's at a critical moment in her life, I think. I'm feeling that energetically. Cards are backing me up with the Lovers. And the Moon. So the Moon is uncertainty. Where to next is in that energy as well. So what's at the root of this disturbance that people are sensing. I'm finding in her eyes, again, not body shaming. It's just a look. Princess Diana, Meghan's Princess Diana's biggest fan. Princess Diana had it too. There's the moon. What's the root cause of it? I've got the Six of Swords, and it's in reverse. She's worried with that Six of Swords. Six of Swords is trouble, leaving your troubles behind, leaving conflict behind, transitioning to a happier, more peaceful period in one's life. It's moving on to a new cycle even, and it's in reverse. She's stuck. She's stuck in a lot of conflict, a lot of disruption, a lot of trauma with what's going on, a lot of criticism. Her Netflix show has just been rated as the worst Netflix show of the year in some magazine that I've just seen headlines of. It's got the worst score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's shockingly bad. That news has just come out. Netflix not stocking her as ever merch in their pop-up shops, which is a massive blow to her. She's worried. And psychological turmoil, I'm quoting about the sanpaku thing, that they might view the outside world as a danger. Here it is, Six of Swords in reverse. There's no peace, there's no tranquility, there's no ability to just rest and settle and think, I've achieved what I want to achieve. She's frantic in that Six of Swords energy, because as fast as she runs away from the trouble, you know how they ran towards conflict or trouble, that World Kitchen guy said, and I think it was the Time 100, they ran towards trouble, she and Harry. Trouble's running towards her, no matter what she does. So what's her mind focused on currently? The Fool in reverse, running out of options here. What do I do next? Where's my next big opportunity? She's used them all up. I've made a big long list. I'm going to tell you the big long list in the next reading when we look at what is going to happen to her after this year of tremendous effort and overexposure. She is frantic about this because she knows she's used them all up. All of those things, those opportunities. She's had more opportunities just in this year alone than most people have in an entire lifetime, and she's messed them all up. This Harper's Bazaar thing is horrendous. And again, I'm not shaming her. There's a lot of speculation that she was over controlling. She wouldn't let their stylists, their people do their thing. She had her vision, and it was a very bleak and very grim vision, and it's translated through. You can see it, and it's really getting very negative feedback even on Harper's Instagram and places like that. People are reacting very badly to it. So fail after fail after fail. What next? What can she do next? That's what's on her mind. Past that's led to this rather disturbing energy that she's giving off at the moment. We've got the Empress in reverse. A lot to say about this card. We try not to look at the little horns on that Empress. This is a very dark tarot, a soulless tarot. And the Empress is, of course, about abundance and creativity first and foremost. Well, not first and foremost. It's the mother of the tarot. It's mother in reverse. So, well, we could talk a lot about that. I'm not going to talk a lot about that here. I'm just going to note it, and you can wander down whatever byways, highways and byways you want to with that Empress in reverse energy when it comes to maternal instincts and mothering and children and all the rest of that. Children here too, with the moon, just saying, and shadiness there in that moon card. But the Empress in reverse really is about, in this context for me, reading this energetically and speculating, it's about creativity and abundance. And she has displayed a devastating lack of originality and creativity. Everything that she has done for Netflix, the podcast, Harper's Bazaar, whatever is derivative. Even the Harper's thing, going makeup freak, Pamela Anderson, been there, done that. Meghan allegedly copied a lot of Pamela Anderson's cooking lifestyle show as well. Pamela was even asked about it, as far as I remember. At some point she kind of laughed it off, but it was pretty obvious if you did a side-by-side analysis. The Harper's thing also, Meghan, and I'm harping on about the Harper's thing, but it has just dropped, so it's very fresh in my mind. People are putting side-by-side of Princess Diana, and I think it was the Vogue shoot that she did, and Meghan's copied some of those looks and poses and things. There's nothing original about her, but she's also failed to monetize this stuff. She's failed to make money for herself, for Netflix, Limonada with the podcast, you name it. The Founders thing has floundered. It's been a disaster. It's been a disaster, and that emptiness, that is the Empress in reverse. Okay, let's move on. What's next for her? Where's she heading? What's coming towards her in terms of this disturbing energy? There's the Hierophant. A very creepy looking Hierophant. Is very reminiscent of that red portrait of the king, the first portrait of him as king, which really freaked a lot of people out. I did read on it, and the energy that came through in that reading wasn't as creepy as might have been expected. Just saying. But the Hierophant is the royal family. And I read, I think it was yesterday, I don't have much in the way of thought at the moment because there's a hell of a lot going on. And if you've noticed a band-aid on my left hand, it's from stacking the dishwasher and not seeing a very sharp object in the dishwasher that was already there. So I'm wounded now as well. But the Hierophant is all about the royal family, going back to the royal family, the desperate scramble to get back in with them. I wish I could say that it was a desperate scramble to make good with up above. As far as her immortal soul is concerned, I'm not getting that energy. Not at all. But I am getting the sense that she is seeking safe haven with the royal family right now, just as much as the has-been is. And this is a recent turn of events. A few months ago, even a few weeks ago, she wasn't. It's interesting, I think, since Netflix said, nah, we're done with you, sister. We are very done with you. And sorry and goodbye. Frantic scramble to rush back to the royal family. What pressure is she under? Let's just check that one. Eight of Cups in reverse, similar energy to the Six of Swords in reverse. Again, a sense of not being able to move on from something. We've got it three times really, because we've got the Six of Swords in reverse, the Eight of Cups in reverse, and the Fool in reverse. She's stuck, and she's stuck in conflict, in drama, in criticism that she's finding very wounding. She's stuck emotionally as well. She's stuck in a very painful period in her life. The Lovers there, the marriage failing, other partnerships failing as well. Netflix, the biggie, that has been very publicly failing, and we all know about that. This is really painful for her, and she can't move on from it. She would like to. She would very much like to, but she doesn't know how to. So she's spinning wheels and she's going nowhere at the moment. And we see it because we see it in things like the holiday special. The trailer for that has just dropped also at exactly the moment William and Catherine arrived for the variety show, the Royal Variety Show. And she just can't come up with anything new. Just can't. Empress in reverse again. So it's a painful moment for her. Where is this heading? I want to know where it's heading. Is it heading for some kind of crisis? Basically, I'm asking that. Or is she going to salvage something from this? Is she going to wake up and think, I'm living my life entirely wrong, I'm being very self-destructive, I'm depleting all my energy, I'm using up all my resources and everyone else's resources as well, and nothing is being fed back into me. If you've done the artist's way, any of you out there, you'll know about feeding the well, that you have to at some stage put back in. Otherwise you do just get depleted. And that's self-care. Is she going to learn some self-care? Is she going to learn some spirituality more than just talking about it? Is she going to practice it and do it? I've got the Three of Swords in reverse. Three of Swords is a very, very, very painful card. It's betrayal, it's heartache, it's real pain. And we've got pain on this tarot table. Six of Swords. You might think I'm sounding sorry for her. And as an empath, yes, I am. Because that's the great misfortune of being an empath. You feel sorry for people you really shouldn't feel sorry for. And I really shouldn't feel sorry for Meghan Markle. But I do. I do today with these cards on the tarot table, because I don't think she knows how to fix this. Because there is no one there. In the heart of hearts, there's just an empty void, which is why I'm reading with the Soulless Tarot. What this Three of Swords tells me is that she's going to go through something devastating. And I don't use those words lightly, and I don't say them with joy or relish. She's going to go through something very, very painful. And it's going to be in the aftermath of that she's going to have to either do the work to heal herself, or she's going to really suffer terrible consequences emotionally from not doing the work. And the heartache, the betrayal, the abandonment could come from the failure of her marriage. It could come from other losses, which I wouldn't wish on anyone. But of course, bear in mind, there is an elderly parent on her side of the family. There's an elderly parent on Harry's side of the family. There's all kinds of other things, losses and hurts that can happen. As she, of all people, should know very well, she's been through a miscarriage, and her friend, her very good friend, lost a child just a few years ago in very tragic circumstances. So she's acquainted with that level of loss. And again, I say, I don't say this happily. I just get this energetically, and this is just an energy reading. This is just speculation. But I see something up ahead. Not immediately. Immediately, it looks like the mad scramble to rejoin the royal family before it's too late. But further down the track, I see trouble for her. That's going to be very painful, and she's going to struggle to heal from, because she doesn't know how to. That is the reading. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.